Hi, I'm the Warrior Witch, and you can call me Nike. My audio might sound different today because I'm trying out a new microphone thing, so if it works, I might sound a little different. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah. Also, I've been wearing this thing a lot because it's just super comfy and nobody's here to tell me no. So 3 weeks in a row I get to wear this. Yay! Anyway, today we're talking about maybe something that isn't discussed a lot, which I feel like I say often, but that's sort of the whole point of my channel, is stuff that isn't talked about so much, which is cleansing, but the mundane ways. I think often we kind of come across this idea that cleansing is only sort of in the metaphysical sense. It's only in the way of like, you have to smoke cleanse or use a bell. But what we don't discuss a lot is that when it comes to a lot of magic, especially in folk magic, you see this a lot, the mundane ways of cleansing are also equally, if not arguably more important than the metaphysical ways that we cleanse. I tilted it down because I wanted more. Anyway, so when it comes to the mundane versus magical, it always seems like they have to be super separate things, and that's really not the case. In this way, it's that the mundane is the magical, in a sense. We sort of get this idea that if we do one, we don't need to do the other. They're separate, keep them separate, but in reality, a lot of folk magic has things like floor washes, and by floor washes I mean you literally wash your floor, and it happens to be also infused with these things like, you know, lemon and pine and whatever. And it's not that you're supposed to do that and then clean normally, it's that using those is part of an actual cleaning process. Like, it actually cleans the floors. If you're washing your floors with the floor wash that's been infused with these things that have the correspondences you want for cleansing, it also is you literally scrubbing your floors. Like, if you need to add in soap for it, that's also part of the process. Much the same way that when you're cleansing, when you cleanse and you're just doing the metaphysical stuff, so like using a bell, using some sort of smoke bundle, or, you know, burning wood like pine or cedar, you may notice that it doesn't always feel very cleansed, and I would argue that it is most likely that it's because you didn't physically clean your space. My altar is over by my kitchen now, so maybe if I've got dirty dishes, or if the living room is, you know, stacked full of stuff and I've got just a bunch of messes in there, sure, I can smoke cleanse all day, but I still won't feel cleansed and clean and ready to go because all this other stuff, all this other junk is just lying around. It's not just that you have to metaphysically clean, it's that your space needs to actually literally be clean. As an example of this, some traditions will have you like wash your hands and your body before doing any ritual work. It's very, very common across many traditions. And the literal cleaning of your body, the cleansing of your body, is part of getting yourself ready for work. So what are some of these mundane ways that you can cleanse, that you can work into your magical practice without having to get new tools, do something special, make it a whole ritual? It can just be part of your mundane life. Let's go through them. So one of the easiest is going to be just literally cleaning your space, you know, picking up the living room if you've got, you know, stuff laying around, books and shoes and whatnot. If you've got clothes in your bedroom, picking up your bedroom and putting your clothes away. If you've got dishes, doing your dishes, like an actual pickup of your place. It could be that you can only control your room and that's where your altar is, especially if you're living with like family or if you have roommates. So just clean what you can, and if you're able to get the rest of the space cleaned up, great. If you can't, just focus on your room as much as you can, or on whatever space you're allowed to touch. Some of this may include things like, I mentioned before, floor washes if you have floors that can be washed. If you have carpet, you could vacuum. And what I like to do is actually clean my windows. So I'll get like some Windex, and I'll Windex the windows really nicely. I might do oils first, and then because oils sort of leave a residue, I then regularly clean it afterwards. You know, I can mix them in together and make them work. Another way is showering. I mentioned before washing your body, using water, washing your hands. Those are great ways as well. I think that a full body wash is really important, and in many, many folk traditions, especially in some of the various American folk traditions like Appalachian or Hoodoo, I know that actual showers are a big thing, or baths as well. You know, there's a lot of bath and shower magic that people use in folk magic that maybe people on the internet aren't so aware of, especially if they're learning on their own, they're solitary, they don't have any people to look to learn this information, there's no elders around you to be able to learn from. This is maybe something that gets skipped over, and it's really, really important. So baths and showers, they're great ways to cleanse, not just like your space, because your space is one thing, but cleansing yourself as well. It's not just waving a smoke bundle in front of yourself or ringing a bell around your body. Taking a shower or a bath can be a great way to do this. And it doesn't have to be like a full-on thing. You could just take a washcloth and have some, like you would make a floor wash, you could take some special water and, rub yourself down with a washcloth. It doesn't have to be getting in the shower necessarily, but, just having a nice wipe down, like baby wipes or something. You could even do that, especially if you can get wipes in a certain scent, because lots and lots of wipes come in different scents. And if you can get ones that are, say, lemon's great for cleansing. If you get lemon scented wipes that are body safe, you could certainly use those. And the final one that starts to step more into that metaphysical zone that is still in the mundane cleaning way is clean your altar. I think we're all a little bit guilty of leaving our altars to get a little bit dirty after some time, and it's good to clean it off sometimes. I work with Hecate. I've started working with her again. There's a little bit of a gap in there, but every new moon I will empty out the incense to give as an offering to her, and that sparks me to clean the rest of the altar. So I'll give it a little wipe down, I'll move all the candles around and everything, and I'll get underneath where some of the dust starts to collect. If there's any wax that has gotten under the altar, I'll try to pick it off with my thumb or whatever I can. If you don't have nails like I do, there is another way that's great for cleaning up wax, by the way, which is putting down a paper towel over wherever the wax is and having an iron set on a low heat. And you can just set it on top, and it should heat up and melt and soak into the paper towel, and then you can just wipe it away and throw it away. Make sure that whatever surface you're on can get warm. Some like nice surfaces you might have a little bit more issues with, so just be careful, low heat, so you don't burn anything. Anyway, so yes, cleaning your altar. If I really want to get a deep clean when it comes to cleaning my altar, I'll not only pick everything up, but I'll actually fully clear off everything. I mean, like taking it all to the side, putting it on the floor, doing the full wipe down, cleaning each individual item. Because sometimes we forget to clean the items themselves, like cleaning off the sides of glass candles or cleaning off a bell, because those things will still accrue dust as well, and that's still going to have some of that ickiness that you wanted to clean off in the first place. So cleaning your regular items, also very important. That's the real deep clean. Sometimes I'll even, because mine is more of a, because my altar's more of like a cabinet setup, so I'll even like go inside and rearrange things. I'll clean some of those up. I might move things to the side and try to figure out a new space for them. So the real deep clean is like the full thing. That's a little less often because it's a lot more energy, and Lord knows that all of us have energy all the time to do that. So the deeper clean is important, but less frequent. The easier wipe down, pick up sort of method is what I do much more often. But that really seems to work for me. And on top of this, when I do the regular cleaning, I will then go in with the metaphysical ways of cleaning with, smoke bundles and bells and things like that. The ways that we normally consider to be cleansing. But I always try to do the mundane cleaning first, because I know that I just won't feel the metaphysical ways as much or even at all if the other cleaning hasn't been done. So combining them together I think is really important. And it's not only with cleansing that this happens. There's a lot of ways that we sort of forget that while we try to separate mundane from magical, especially when we're looking for signs or whatever, there's also ways that the mundane and the magical go together. A lot of folk magic is putting things together, literal like protection charms that go over your doorway. There's also things like fire safety that go into it. There's lots of ways that we seem to separate ourselves from the mundane because we want our everyday to be super magical and special and metaphysical, but part of the magical experience is enhancing your mundane life. So don't forget that you can keep them together. It's a wonderful experience to be able to find ways to incorporate it and to see, when you start looking into traditions and the ways that traditions have been for a long time, how the mundane really does affect the magical and vice versa, how the magical affects the mundane. So don't forget that they don't have to be completely separate topics. Putting them together works wonders. And that's all I've got for you guys this week. So if you want to see more of my stuff, I've got my social media stuff down here, or it should be. I think I forgot that last time, but that's okay. I've started writing for my blog again, so patrons, you've already gotten this. By the time this goes out for the public, I believe I'll be producing the article tomorrow, but I'm starting to write articles for my blog again, and I have one about how I write spell work for myself, how I write my spells and actually put all the pieces together. So when that comes out, that'll be great. And patrons, if you haven't already seen it, I've put up this post for you guys early. It's password access on my website, it's pretty cool. And I've included a special document that includes templates for how I do my digital writing down of my spells and keeping track of everything. So if you wanted a little bit of a guide for yourself, this is accessible for you. If you find... I also am part of a podcast, if you want to hear more of my lovely voice. It's called Occultism with a Side of Salt, where I talk with my two co-hosts, Georgina and Temperance, about lots of different issues and topics pertaining to the occult sphere in general. So if you want to listen to that, there will also be links in the description for that. Otherwise, that's all I got for you guys this week. So I'll see you next time, and blessed be! Yay!